Howdy, my name is Justin Sines, your 4-H and urban youth educator here in Montgomery County. We're coming to you live on tape from the Montgomery County Extension Kitchen. In partnership with the Montgomery County Memorial Library System, we are excited to bring you the second episode of 4-H Agrication, your summer vacation ag education. In this episode, we're going to be looking at the incredible edible egg. First, we're going to learn about hatching eggs from Joe Pickin, our 4-H program assistant. Did you know Montgomery County 4-H hatches hundreds of eggs each year in classrooms all across the county through our Hatching in the Classroom program? We're even going to see a few chicks hatch today. Then we're going to visit a 4-H family and tour their poultry farm and learn about egg production and broilers. So, without further ado, let's get started.
So a chicken hatching period is 21 days, and if you don't want to have the hen for those 21 days, then your alternative would be to use an incubator. This one actually does both jobs of keeping the eggs warm and at the right humidity as well as turning them. So it's just one machine that does all of those things. And somewhere in the middle of that time, you want to check and make sure that the eggs are still developing, or a better way to say that would be that the embryo inside is still alive, developing and growing. So that needs to happen somewhere between day 10 and day 14. For us, this is going to happen on day 13. Today we're shining a bright light to go through the eggshell. It's sort of like taking an x-ray without quite such scientific equipment. So we're able to see that the embryo is sitting on this one side. There are lots of other things in the egg that we're looking for. In particular today, we can see really a good view of the blood vessel structure. Sometimes you will find, as is the case here, that the egg was never fertilized in the first place. So that's what we're looking at, is an egg that was not fertilized to begin with. And so all we see in there is the same things you would see if you were to take an unfertilized egg out of the refrigerator and hold a flashlight to it. So it has the yolk and the white and all those things that are normally inside of an egg, but there is no embryo in there. We just can see those, a lot of cases, those pores that allow air to pass in and out as necessary. So eggs that are available at the grocery store in the refrigerated section are unfertilized eggs, meaning that those hens that laid the eggs were kept either completely separate from, or maybe even completely alone on a farm or on a location where there were no roosters whatsoever. Hens are perfectly capable of laying eggs by themselves and perfectly capable of putting the things in it, except for those other puzzle pieces that the rooster would contribute in order for an egg to be fertilized. So you could take, even if they had not been refrigerated eggs from the grocery store, put them in an incubator or under a hen, and you would never hatch baby chicks because they don't have those other puzzle pieces, the DNA pieces from the rooster that these fertilized eggs do have. So these were also laid by a hen, but the rooster had his chance to put in his part of the puzzle, so to speak. So when the hen pushed that down and closed it in, all the puzzle pieces were already inside so that the fertilized eggs could then develop the baby chicks.
No matter your age, it is always exciting to watch baby chicks hatch. Did you notice how they unzip all the way around the egg before they pop out? It just makes the process a little bit easier. Now, let's see the second part of that chick's life as we go to Montgomery, Texas to Perfectly Pastured and see how they raise both broilers and layer hens.
I'm Lisa Romanchuk, and this is my husband, Brad. So we're from Perfectly Pastured.
We've lived out here since 2012. We've been growing meats for ourselves since probably 2013. We started doing some pigs and cows and chickens. We've processed them on farm for ourselves, but now that we sell a lot of the meat and products, it all goes to USDA inspected certified processors. Chickens go to one place, cattle go to different places. So
We have broilers, laying hens, cattle, livestock guardian dogs, pigs.
So this is our meat bird housing here. We raise Cornish cross birds. They are, I guess, engineered to grow very quickly, and it's probably 95% of the meat that you'll find at the grocery store is a Cornish cross. We raise them out on pasture in these mobile coops. The coops are built out of lightweight PVC and with a tarp over top and chicken wire, and then a heavier 2x4 frame on the bottom to help keep them stable in the storms and wind and stuff. And also, so they get moved once or twice a day depending on how big the birds are and how they're covering the ground. So we make them easy to move yet stable in the weather and somewhat predator proof, even though we have the dogs kind of running around this field as well to keep them safe. So they're fed a certified organic, certified non-GMO feed that we got from a mill in Gonzales, Texas, and we'll feed them in the morning and in the evening, and then they spend their time kind of chickening around, scratching and pecking and eating bugs and grass and stuff. So we started them back up there, and as they get moved, you can see the grass. They kind of wear out and put down a layer of chicken manure as they get moved. So that's great for the grass, and when you can see what it does the next season when the grass comes back, it's a big difference. So.
Mm-hmm.
So we built 3 different mobile coops now. We have the layers that the hens are based in that get moved every week or two to different areas and different pastures. The first one we built with wood-based laying nesting boxes that we open from the outside and just reach in and get the eggs. And on the latest 2 coops, we've used a roll-away nest box that keeps the eggs a lot cleaner when they come out, and there's a lot less washing and a lot less labor into that end of the eggs. So kind of built them to maximize the number of birds that can roost in them at night, and also for safety and protection from predators. So it's kind of a balance, especially in Texas, making sure that there's enough airflow and keep the coops cool during the hot summers here, but still enough protection from predators. So this is the latest one we built. It's an old travel trailer frame on the bottom, 25 feet by 8 feet. We built out the frame to 10 feet, and so it's a 25 by 10, and it's got room for probably just over 300 birds. We currently have maybe 150 in it right now. So it gives them lots of room when they go in and roost at night. We open them up first thing in the morning when we come out, and then they're out all day. They can kind of go and do whatever they want, and then they go back in right before it gets dark, and we'll lock up each coop at night to keep them safe. Although it's free range, I mean, you'll find they don't really wander. We've got 3 coops in a pretty close area here, and the tribes don't really intermingle very much. They kind of stick to their own area, and they might go 150, 200 feet away from the coop, but they generally just kind of stay in their own little area. So that's why we move them every week, to keep them moving and keep them on fresh grass and keep everything clean.
Yeah. Everything Brad built moves, and that's why, so that they're not stationary in one area where it gets concentrated and dirty. So you can just keep them moving to get clean grass, and keeps everybody healthier, and they lay much healthier eggs as well.
So these chickens are a hybrid bird. These are like production egg layers, and we've got just over 100 of them, and probably the other couple hundred that we've got are actually Rhode Island Reds that I'll show you after this. These birds lay an incredible amount of eggs in the first 72 weeks, I think, of their life. Most of their egg production is done in the first year and a few months, so they lay pretty reliably, you know, a good large-sized dark egg every day once they start laying, sometime between 16 and 18 weeks normally. Whereas your more traditional birds, the Rhode Island Reds, the heritage breeds, will lay a little less often. It's, you know, it's still almost every day. But they'll lay over a span of a couple years, 2 to 3 years. You can keep those birds, and they'll be laying at pretty high production rates.
But their eggs are lighter in color and a little bit smaller. The ones are bigger and darker.
So the Rhode Island Reds, a heritage breed. They've been around for hundreds of years. They are definitely a hardier bird, and can handle a lot kind of different extremes in weather, from cold to hot. They're a bit heavier than the production birds. The production birds should be about 4.5 pounds. These are going to be closer to 5.5 pounds. So they're a little less efficient on feed, but they lay over a span of 2 to 3 years instead of just 1 year for the production birds. Pretty calm, docile. And there's some Easter eggers in here as well. The Easter eggers lay light blue or light green eggs. So we like, when we obviously sell a dozen eggs, we'll put one blue one in each dozen so everybody can get one.
How many eggs do you think we get a day?
Yeah, right now we're probably getting close to 200 eggs a day. So we get our chicks, we get our laying hens from a couple different online hatcheries up in the Northeast. There's a couple, and we order them online, and they get shipped to the post office. It normally takes 1 or 2 days, and post office will call in the morning. We go pick up normally a box of 100 or 200 baby chicks at a time. And then on the meat bird side, we've been getting them from Windy Meadows Hatchery up around Dallas. We've had good success with their meat birds and a good survival rate, and not had any problems. So, but most of what we sell is ungraded and unclassified. So it's where you buy them in the grocery store, and they'll be, you know, grade A large eggs, which ours would be grade A large eggs. And it says where they're produced, it's got our address on it, and our Perfectly Pastured logo and stuff.
A big thank you to the Perfectly Pastured team for showing us around their poultry farm today. If you'd like to get more information about their products, you can visit perfectlypastured.com. Eggs are truly incredible, but we did not leave out the edible part. Visit montgomerycounty4h.org to get our delicious full recipe for 4-H Agricado egg salad. While you're there, if you'd like to get more information via email, be sure to fill out our interest survey, or you can call our office at 936-539-7823. We want to thank you for joining us today on this episode of 4-H Agrication, your summer vacation ag education. Until next time, see you later.